Okay, welcome to the second part of our Excel Module 1 video. I just maximized my screen. I'm now going to be working on page 1-16 in Excel. So we're going to click in J3, or J13 rather. And as soon as I find J13, which is right here, I'm going to type in this year. Then in K3, actually, I was not very bright. I read it wrong. Let's go to J3. And I'll delete this. So now we have it in the right spot. Have my book on sideways, so the 3 look like a 13. So I'm clicking on J3, or K3, and I'm going to type in equals. Then I'm going to type in F13. And then I'm going to click enter. And that gives us 4380. So now we want in cell J5 the percent increase. So let's go to J5. And we're going to type in equals. Now, very important that we use the parentheses. Remember, the order preference is parentheses, exponents, multiplication and division, which is the M, and then addition and subtraction. So just remember PEMA, P-E-M-A. So we're going to look at typing in here. Then we're going to go K3. And then we're going to type in minus K1. Get the right parentheses. Then I'm going to type in divided by K1. And that gives us 0.024808. If you don't do this, you left out the parentheses, what will happen is because multiplication and division come before addition and subtraction, it'll divide K1 by K1 and then subtract that from K3. So we need to make sure that we get that squared away in here. So that was number 4 and number 5. We're going to click on the percent style here, which is this. That gives us 2%, and then it probably would want us to format and hit the decimal twice. So we'll click on this here once, twice. We could have very easily gone in here and choose percentage and 2 decimal places to do it as well. So that takes care of this. And I think I skipped a step. So here, let's go in and fix that. In cell J5, type percent increase, which I should have typed in percent increase. And I'm going to delete this because what will happen is if I just copy it and paste it, it's going to not give us the right thing. So let's go in here and do it again. So we're going to type in equals, percent sign. Then we want K3. And then we want minus K1. And divided by K1. And we'll do the percent the other side. So sometimes when I make a mistake, it's good because then you can see how to fix them. So let's go to percentage and 2 decimal places. So now we have 2.41%. That's looking good in here. So that's all on page 116. So now we're going to insert a function. So I'm going to click on cell B15 just to get in the right thing. Let me just type in B15. And we're going to do the maximum and the average in here. So I may be in the wrong spot because we probably, let's see, 14 should be in here. So let's go and insert a row here to get it accurate. So I did miss the fact that we needed a space. So let's click the insert in here, and we've done that. Then we're going to click average and select. Boom. All right. So let's go and go to auto sum. Let's click average. And notice how it fills it all the way up. It ignores the first non-number because there's a blank line in there. So we're going to do B4 to B12. We don't really want the B13. So let's go and move this up. When you get the little arrow, I'm holding the shift key down and using the arrow to do it. There's different ways that you can do it. This is the way that I like to do it in here. So there you can click the collapse arrow over here. There's all different kinds of ways to do it. This is my favorite one in here. So once we get done with that, we're going to click on OK. And that gives us the average of 122.222. Let's go into cell B16. We're hitting the equal sign. And then I'm going to type in M. And notice that it starts finding things that we could have as opposed to having to click on auto sum. That's okay. So let's double click max. And it's going to fill in max. So now it wants us to fill in the numbers. So we want B4 to B12. So we're just going to drag this down here, B4 to B12. Make sure that you add the right parentheses, and you're good. And it gives us 170, which is right. Then the next one will be min. So we're going to do the same thing in B17. We're going to type equals min and double click on it. And then we'll do the same. Hit the right parentheses and boom. And 78 is correct. So that takes care of all the way up to number 7. So now we're going to select the range B15 to B17. And we're going to copy that over. It says drag the fill handle to all the way to C15 to 17. So let's just expand it all the way over. So this is C. Let's just go all the way over here. And that will work in here. And I'm checking the book to see if my figures match. The book doesn't have F in here, so we'll delete that. So everything looks pretty good in there. And we're good. Now, the book doesn't tell you to do some of the things that I did, so I just added a few extra things in here. More than likely, you're going to want to change this to 2 decimal places. So I'm going to change this to number and 2. Doesn't tell you to do that in the book, but you can see. So you can see the averages are pretty close in there. So the next is just playing around with views and print options. So you can see the different worksheet views between page layout and ruler in here, page break window, so you can see all the different things that are available for you in view. And here's your views. You're going to normally work in this one over here. Page break is always good to work in if you want to put in special page breaks in there, column breaks and things of that nature. Always work, again, with grid lines and headlines and formula bars open up. Going to the next page, you have print options. So if we go into, it tells us to click on cell A20. So I'll just type it in here. And then it wants us to do the orientation. So we want to go to page layout. And notice here is orientation. You did that in Microsoft Word. And we'll set it to landscape in there. Then we're going to click the grid lines print box. So there's all kinds of different stuff that you can do in here. I'm going to let you do that on your own. But you can see, make sure that you have the grid lines. If you want the grid lines to print, you'll put it in here. If you want the headings to print, you can put them in here. That's this over here. So really, you just only want to do the ones that you specifically want in there. So that's the entire module. Let me save it over here.